and engagement that you guys are connecting the community and the world to?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's amazing to me. I'm a Los Angeles native, multi-generational Angelino that's grown up, in a big city with all the Hollywood stuff. And you find everything. I mean, I could find almost everything that I could find in Los Angeles here in Sarasota.
Oh,
Film
good.
festivals.
It's a smaller place.
Yeah, it's a much smaller place. I mean, I'm not finding the amount of actors, but that doesn't matter today. Today, I could always find actors from all around the world. There's an amazing amount of talent in every aspect and things that could be done here.
So are you going to be focusing yourself on more of the technological 3D kind of technology, or what is it going to look like? What is this museum and AWOW going to actually look like for going forward?
So yes, and I'm sorry I didn't answer that question. So there's a few components to that. So there will be a 500 seat auditorium where we're going to have tech talk, like global visionary talks. And then we have about 2 acres that'll be a plaza space. We go between plaza and pavilion, where there's going to be food and a lot of modular. We'll have like food truck nights, and we're going to have events, all kinds of art installations and performing arts and music that are constantly going on. But the idea is that we'll have weekends that'll be dedicated to certain nonprofits. So we want to work with all the nonprofits that are here in Sarasota and help amplify their message, because we are unique in the sense that we have a venue. We're an attraction, a tourist attraction. So we want people to know that Sarasota is a giving city, and that it's filled with all this wonderful stuff and the wonderful people that are just helping all around. And that's part of the positivity that we're bringing to the table. So that'll happen in all these aspects. But then the Pavilion Plaza will have constant changing and rotating events. We're going to have green space. We're going to have a community garden that is for the vets, and it's by a nonprofit that helps vets and people with PTSD learn vocational work through farming, and also get a lot of value for themselves working with their hands. And so we're going to have that. So we're also going to have food commissaries, and then we're going to have the museum, which is a tech art exhibit, to say the least. It's gonna have all the 3D tech art and visual art that is on the forefront today. So virtual reality, a lot of people know about that. That's what we produce. But the future is much bigger than that. So all the holographic stuff that you're talking about, that people are talking about, we have Magic Leap here in Florida that's creating technology for being able to see things in augmented reality. So that means in addition to what we already see, you're able to create a lot of stuff that
What is Magic Leap?
Magic Leap is, well, if you look it up, so Magic Leap basically is going to be just as well known as Google or Facebook in the very near future. They're created technology for headsets, for augmented reality headsets that look more like glasses, that basically will do everything your phones do, everything your computer does, and a lot more. So if you look at it as an estate, so the estates of computation started with, the regular computer, that moved to the laptop, that moved to the phone, and then are moving to these headsets will be the next level of computation. And so Magic Leap is the leader in that right now. Are those things that
cover your eyes, Alex? Are those the things you see?
No. These are augmented reality, so they're glasses, but you'll be able to program them so that, let's say you're driving down a dark highway it'll literally light the highway, and it will give you reports on accidents and also let you know if there's a restaurant or a bathroom or a hotel, whatever exit, and give you information that's in addition to what you're able to visibly see. And BMW and Mercedes, and in Germany, all their new cars are already coming with glasses like this.
Wow.
So when you buy a car that you're driving down the Autobahn, you're seeing another world along with the world that you're doing, and it's preventing accidents, and it's helping people in many different ways.
So how does this play a role in the Museum of Consciousness then? That's incredible.
So in addition to what you're going to experience through tech art and visual art, we're going to create an augmented reality experience for the entire museum that's actually going to bleed over into the other part of the park. So Pokemon was a humongous success that people know through augmented reality. So we're going to be able to create something similar to that, which will really speak to the kids. They love that. So we could have treasure hunts like Pokemon did, and we could make art pieces come to life. We could actually have avatars that explain to you how this was created, or the artist behind it, or the history behind this type of art. So all these things will be able to be beyond what you're able to see with your naked eye. And it is the future. It's already happening. And so that's going to happen here at the Museum of Consciousness AWOW experience. And that's something that's going to be definitely unique for Sarasota, but pretty unique for all of Florida. And
wow, that is unbelievable. I just love I love that you've got your fingers on some really, because we know that the future is ready to explode in front of us, right? Would you agree?
Absolutely. It's happening. I mean, literally the momentum is already there. The technology has already been created. It's just the implementation. And what I want to be part of is using technology for good. So what's happened in the last 20 years, that it's veered off, and the perception of technology is that it's bad because kids are playing these shoot-up games and they're doing all these things. But
or it's used reality, for the military, right?
Used for the military, used for for consumption and for consumerism and for all these different things. But if you apply technology for education, for appreciation of art, for more in-depth knowledge of what it is that our reality is and the world that we live in, and to understand that there's much more than what the visible eye lets you see, I think that that's going to be a really great use of technology, and that'll inspire innovation and engagement so that we find solutions for the future, and we can all do that, and we can all roll up our sleeves, and we could do it in a fun, positive way, and we can learn together and co-create together, and that's what we intend to do through technology. So that's the next step of technology, not the other stuff that right now gives tech a bad name.
Well, gosh, Alex, that is so super inspiring. And I know we can probably talk for an hour on this whole thing, but there's some couple of things I want you to share with our listeners. Number one, obviously there's got to be a time frame. There's a lot on the plate you just explained. So what's your time frame? You have a big event coming up tomorrow. I know you can share that, even though this is a timeless recording. This is important to know that this is the time that the museum is happening, number one. And number two, how can people contribute and participate? Can you get all that in 2 minutes?
I'll try my hardest. So yes, tomorrow is our kickoff and our fundraiser. Thanks to the generosity of the Van Gogh family and Bob Williams, we're sitting on a 6-acre property that's valued over $10 million that they've basically given us a $1 a year lease indefinitely. And they're talking about putting it into a land trust so that it'll go into infinity for us. And so we're already able to break ground. And this fundraiser is going to be the kickoff that's going to that's going to lead to this, so that we build more awareness and so that we could build the teams that we need to build to move it forward. And so we anticipate breaking ground next year, which is next month, 2020, next year sometime, not next month, but that's the goal. And we will do it in a 3-phase process. And so the thing that's most exciting to everybody is to see the museum, the visual art and tech art space open. So we're going to put special emphasis on getting that going, as well as the plaza area, so that we have a venue for people to come and create and interact and be part of it, be it if they're performance dancers or they're the symphony or
so a question I'm going to have to get to the end of this. So the question is, how can others contribute, be in touch, and participate? Is there a place that they can go and find out more and contribute?
Yes, if you go to myawow.com or themuseumofconsciousness.org, you'll be able to find information on us, how to contact us, and how to contribute. We are launching a crowdfunding campaign starting the 1st of January, and so there's ways for people to contribute that way. And we want people to contribute with much more than just funding. We want ideas. We're going to collaborate, and part of our funding will go to help artists, inventors, thinkers, idea makers on how to create solutions for the future. And so to finish that off, we're going to have maker space on our property with mentorship programs and with equipment and support for people that have ideas to making this world a better place. And
that's awesome. That is so awesome, Alex. Thank you so very much. Really appreciate your contribution today. There's so much more. We'll have you on again. We want to thank you for coming. We want to thank you to Integrated Healing Arts Wellness Center for their sponsorship. And thank you all for joining us today. Stay tuned for our next subject. We look forward to seeing you then.